Hey YouTube, Sir Lax-A-Lot here. Today I want to talk a little bit about coaching techniques as far as Dpoles go. I know that this is kind of a strange thing. I never played defense myself. I was an attackman. However, as a coach, I have learned some techniques, and I picked them up from other places too. So I want to show you some sticks that I have here today. They're just basic sticks. This is a short field head, a shorty. It is on it's a Brine Answer Pro on a Brine F15. Just cheap. The Brine F15 eBay, I got it real cheap. As well as the Brine Answer Pro. I have the stick that's behind me here. I have two of those. Those are the original Brine Answer. They don't make those anymore. They don't even make the Brine Answer Pro anymore. But I picked up a couple of these, and I strung it in a kind of a special way. I did not string it as a specific pocket. As far as like an attackman or a midi or a Dpole or even like an LSM kind of pocket. I just strung it regular. It hasn't really been stretched a whole lot. Because this stick does not get used all that much. But it's got SI interlocks all the way down to give it a real simple basic pocket. Just 3 shooters. But this is a part of a set that I kind of have as far as training sticks. If you got a kid that wants to play Dpole, or you want to try kids out, specifically at the younger levels, this is a great way to kind of do it. This stick is the brother of another stick, actually, that is a long pole. So I actually have a long pole. I know the camera's kind of hard to show it all, but this is a long pole next to this one. They're strung identical. They have the same exact pocket, same exact mesh, same everything. I've used the Dpole a little bit more. However, this Gimalax mesh really didn't want to. It takes a lot to kind of get it set. But you can see that they're the same stick here. So the advantage of that is if you got a kid that wants to play long pole, or you're thinking about maybe getting a kid to try long pole, you throw the shorty in his hand first if he's already playing with a short stick. And you get him to kind of throw around a little bit, get used to how that pocket kind of feels, and then you graduate him to this long pole here. I tape the bottom a lot just because I like that grip all the way through. This is also my stick to train long poles how to shoot, kind of. So right where this is, you can see it's just the right length, and this is where your shot comes from with the long pole. I also have a piece of tape right exactly where a shorty would end. So I use it for a lot of kind of different things. But once you get used to the shorter one, you throw the long one in their hand, and it's the same pocket, so it throws just the way that one does. They can just get used to throwing with the longer pole. It's a technique that I kind of found on YouTube, actually. And when I played in college, we had a kid that started out, and one of our long poles had this set up too, because he liked the way his long pocket threw, so we put the same one on a short one. I find it incredibly useful. It's a cool training technique. I don't play long pole. In practice, sometimes I go up against the shorties with a long pole, so they kind of know what to expect. But it's a little interesting technique. It's one that's not really, I have not seen it around all that often. And you do have to have 2 sticks. I have enough sticks that these are kind of dedicated for that purpose. And I do need to come through and stretch these again now. But they have great feel in your hands. And they're just that. I would never, the Brine F15, I have a couple of the old F15s. There's one of them right up there. I have another one in my car. And those are the flip grip kind that you could just beat on a metal pole with it, and they wouldn't dent, they wouldn't scratch, nothing. These newer F15s are much thinner. They're a little lighter. I don't really trust it as far as maybe getting into the first quarter, the first game with it and bending it. But I prefer the Brine F22 or the F55 if you're going to kind of be playing with it. But the F15, as far as learning to throw with a long pole, and just kind of play a little bit of a ghost defense, I think it's a great purpose stick. And this long pole, this F15 long pole, was probably only about $35. So you don't really waste that much money on it. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that today. It's something that's not really seen too much on YouTube. It's just the, where do you start when you want to start throwing a long pole, or if you want to get someone to start throwing it. This is an easy way to really transition someone. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Lax on.